Okay, I believe we are live. It's very exciting. Lots to talk about tonight.
Lots.
Let's see. Okay, yep, looks good. Looks like we are all set. Thank you, Elon, for making us, giving us the ability to go live tonight. How's everybody doing? This has been a fun day. We were filming videos all day today, and it was fun. And yeah, here it is. First thing that has to say, or that I have to say, is we apologize for not having the members meeting, the members stream tonight. I had a meeting I had to be on. It was a whole thing, and I apologize. And I actually wasn't able to announce that to.
I let Zen know just in case anybody asked. Yeah. She was aware.
Yeah, thank you for that. At least let our number one mod know. I shouldn't say number one mod. We got a lot of really good mods in here.
But all of our mods are number one.
It's true. It's very true.
So Toski asked, why does John steal people's dogs?
Oh, yeah. You know, I saw a cute dog and I just had to take that dog. And, when I make a decision that I'm going to steal a dog, there's nobody that can stop me. That was Kasha's dog, Creative Pet Keeping. I have seen that dog many times. We've been to Kasha's home.
Right.
And I just love that dog so much. And, you never really know with people. You never know if people are going to be cool with dogs or if they're not. And so a lot of times, Banana is the name of the dog. Banana was kind of in her little crate thing. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take her out and I'm going to take her for a walk. And
Drew. What? I wanted to think of his YouTube name, but it's just easier to say Drew because his name is Drew. What did he call? Was it Buster or
I don't
Bubbles
know.
or? Well, on the what do you call it? The reel. He named her something else. It was hilarious.
Who even knows?
I sent it to Kasha and she got such a kick out of it.
It was funny because I know Kasha well enough to say, hey, I'm taking your dog. And I did that. And she was like, like she was a little nervous, not because she didn't trust me, but because she thought that Banana would react poorly. Like
Aww.
Banana would be skittish and, is it just me or on their end? What's happening here?
Well, I know that mine was doing a circle thingy, so maybe that's what it was.
Elon, I don't know why. I see you in the chat here tonight. I don't know why you're doing this to me. Maybe if you put more than 2 satellites over North Carolina, maybe we'd be okay.
Right.
Yeah, listen, if you do struggle with it, folks, I wish there was something that I could do about that, but I really can't. There's no way to point the dish in a better way or anything. So, you just kind of get what you get. Hopefully it is watchable. We are going to talk about something that has to do with that coming up here in a little bit. But
Rico stands, so Whip's always concerned about his end.
I understand. So we had Aquashella last weekend, which is where I committed the act of dog napping. And it was a lot of fun. I think we're the only 2 people that were able to escape without getting sick. Everybody else has gotten sick.
I don't think we're the only 2 people. I'm sure there's plenty of other people that didn't get sick either.
I don't know. I think that look at all of these gifted memberships from Stephen P. Stephen P.
Thank you, Stephen. That's so sweet of you.
You probably wanted to rub it in that because your wife probably told you what happened. What? And when I couldn't recognize who she was, I couldn't remember.
Oh my gosh, I was so mad at you. Did you see the look on my face? I was like,
it was a look of humiliation and despair on your. But listen, I meet a lot of people. I've only met her a couple of times, and I
had met her before.
Yeah, but I meet a lot of people.
I'm kind of you'd ever met Jenna.
Kind of a big time guy.
Oh, you did. You met Jenna at Dallas.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember exactly where it was.
It was
one
Dallas,
of the Aquashellas.
I wasn't there.
Yeah. And, but you know what? You meet so many people at these events and I've met so many people it's impossible to remember. However, in my defense, I said, I do remember you. I just can't remember who you are. Like,
and I was so excited to see her. I was so excited to meet Jenna. I was like, I can't wait to go and meet Jenna P, because it was such a big deal for me. And it's so funny. I think one of the first things I said to her was, I didn't realize you were so short. Because for some reason and not short in a bad way, short in an adorable way. I just see Stephen P and I just think, okay, everybody's short to him, compared to him. I'm short compared to him, but she was a couple inches shorter, and I was just like, she's so sweet and cute. And she gifted me something that I wanted to show. I was really excited when she gave this to me, and there's a story behind it.
We got so many things to show you that we acquired.
Isn't it beautiful? Jenna came up and gave me this, and this was drawn by Beck from Beck's Fish Room. She does like co-hosting for Stephen P. Like, she goes on there on his live streams, and she also has an Instagram. It's, hold on, let me see. I wrote it down. I know I wrote it down, and I also gave it to Zen to share. Oh, her Instagram page is RC Beams Art Studio. So if you want a beautiful beta picture, you can go check her out.
Very nice. Very beautiful. We love beta art, and we're going to be spending a lot. Well, let me rephrase that. Because she already does, I am going to be spending a lot more time in the fish room, and I want to do something with all of the art. We got plenty of room for it. There was a time where I was like, we might not have a whole lot of room for all of this artwork that we keep getting from people.
And I collect it. And every time we go to Aquashella, I'll bid on art, because I love artwork, especially when it comes to like anything aquarium related, like betas,
Oscars, discus.
I put in for this at the raffle and I won it. It's a cute frog. Adorable.
That is adorable. So Brooklyn Bell is here too.
Brooklyn.
She's so sweet.
I met her with Jenna P as well, and she is just one of the most adorable people too. And I'm so jealous of Jenna and Brooklyn for having like that neighborly thing. Like, they're neighbors and they get to hang out and talk about fish and go to fish events together. I'm so jealous of that because they're both so sweet.
Yeah. The event went off without a hitch. We didn't get there until Friday evening, which was not normal for us. We usually show up on Thursdays. Yeah. We did not this time, and it's fine. The place gets set up. Like, when we showed up on Friday, it was already pretty much all set up and ready to go. Not the entire event, but where we are.
The YouTube booth.
Mainly because of Jesse and Carrie, Chattanooga Ed.
And James.
James helped out. And thank you for this, Chattanooga Ed, because I'm officially a member of the Tennessee Fish Mafia now, even though I don't live in Tennessee. But, I went to buy the shirt from him, and he said, no, here, you can have it because you sent me one of your shirts. And I was like, oh, yeah, that happened. I forgot about that. So very cool to have friends with such cool shirts. And, I've always been a fan of Mafia movies, so it's cool to have that on me. I love that.
And it's really awesome because they're all so great. If you go to Aquashella and you happen to go by the YouTube booth on a Saturday morning and you see how wonderfully set up it is, it's because of people like Carrie, Science Gal, and Jesse and Ed and James. They all work really hard for like 2 days before, and they get it set up, and they do a really good job. So if you're ever at one of those events, tell them what a great job they're doing.
Jesse is a guy, if you're not familiar, well, you should be, but if you're not, Jesse would be Carrie's lesser half. Can't say better half because that's always the wife. So Jesse is Carrie's lesser half. That dude is just kind of obsessed with helping people do things. Yeah, like even awesome. When the event was over, if you ever want to see madness, go to an Aquashella and be there at 5:00 when the place is closed. It is madness. It's just absolutely crazy the way everybody's breaking stuff down. You see aquariums going through,
wow.
and Jesse's just like, who can I help now? Who can I help now?
Oh, yeah.
It's just, he wants to. We went to dinner Sunday night, and he was like, I can't stay long because I've got to go help Mel move her tank. Mm-hmm. Very cool guy. He's a workaholic, and that is awesome. There is one thing, we will get into the debate here in a minute because that has some controversy around it. Yeah, I'm going to talk about it, and it's fine because no harm was done. But we do have to do a little bragging because we were triumphant 100% of the time in this event. There was no one that beat us at Cornhole. Not once. Not once.
And I don't play. I just decided to throw a little better than normal that day.
They decided for Dallas they were going to incorporate a set of cornhole boards, and we were going to have cornhole tournaments. Jason and I were undefeated in Dallas, and then we played on Saturday. You and I played. We played against Ohio Fish Rescue. We played against Drew, and I don't remember who. I apologize.
And the Metalheads.
We played against the Metalheads. There was so many that we played. It's just hard to remember. I think we played like 40 or 50 matches. We won every single one of them.
Wait, Whip's World was with Drew, right? Was Whip with Drew? Because Whip was on my side. I had to go against Whip's World. So did he go with Drew?
I don't remember.
We were all just playing
Yeah,
each
I don't
other.
remember. It is. I've never lost at Cornhole at Aquashella because we played on Sunday too. She was doing what women do and took her time getting to the event Sunday morning.
That was because it was. I did not.
Listen to this.
No, you know why. I got the news at midnight that my son was not going to be able to make it on Sunday to hang out at the event. And I had been looking forward to that for quite a while. And so I said, I'm just going to take my time going down because I was not in a very good mood. And when I got down there, I got a great big hug from Jay Wilson. And I was like, thank you, Jay. And it made me feel better.
And let me just put it out there. It had nothing to do with Kasha. Her and Daniel were 100% ready to pick him up.
Wonderful.
Unfortunately,
so
one of his fellow sailors, they have to go out in threes, which is, it's not a buddy system. It's like a double buddy system. And one of them bailed like a jerk, bailed out at the literal last minute, and they weren't able to go.
At midnight, yeah. And I wanted to say this really, really quick since we're talking about the Navy. Happy birthday to the Navy. It's their 247th birthday. So
how about that?
Happy birthday. And I love my sailor.
Yeah, it was a shame to be in the same city that he's at and not be able to see him. But
45 minutes away.
Since you were not there when the tournament started, Jason, my fellow champion, became
So
my partner
happy
again.
he stood in for me.
And once again, undefeated. I mean, I've never been beaten. So I've never been beaten at cornhole, nor have I been beaten at ping pong. So I'm like a supreme athlete at these events. I don't know what y'all want me to tell you. It's just
You're good with your hands, like your arms and your hands. Like, come on.
That's about, yeah. Anyway, let's not get weird here. But of course, I had to go there. Anyway, lots of fun to talk about the debate on Saturday. If you're not familiar, we did a debate. It was myself and Jake Adams from Reef Builders. Very famous, very big time guy on the saltwater side. We got up on the stage and we did a freshwater versus saltwater debate. And if anybody was here, anybody that's here was there. There was a moment where I just crumbled, and it was a little embarrassing. I'm going to be honest with you. There was a part where it looked like I was not prepared. It looked like I did not know what I was going to say, and I basically threw up all over myself. But there's a reason why that happened. See, Jake and I, we had planned for this debate. It was going to be a lot of fun. We had a very specific goal with the debate. It was not to beat each other up and one person is going to be victorious over the other, even though we kind of put it out there that way, like we're going to do applause to see who wins. that wouldn't have been fair because we actually polled the audience when we first started, and it was the freshwater people. Y'all came to represent the did I say saltwater?
Fresh.
Okay. The freshwater people. Sorry. Y'all came out in droves, and they outnumbered the saltwater people at least 10-1. And I'm not kidding.
Yeah, but there were some that were both.
Yeah.
But I still think they sided with freshwater.
Well, the whole thing that Jake and I wanted to do was kind of put on a show in the beginning, like him and I were upset with each other, like we were actually doing a debate, like it was Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton up there, like we were going at it and acting like we were flustered, and it really did look like Jake was wiping the floor with me. And then I got to a point where I was up there, I'm holding the microphone, and I was like, I didn't know what to say. And here's why.
Oh boy.
This is the controversial part. So apparently there was rumor going around the YouTube booth that I was getting my butt kicked, not literally, but I was getting my butt kicked in the debate.
I had your
And
back
so
the whole time.
my friend Rich from the Ohio Fish Rescue. Now, if you've never seen him in person, you probably don't know that there is, in fact, a reason why his name is Big Rich. He is a large human being. I don't want to insult him by giving some kind of a number as far as his weight goes, but he is a guy that is basically built like a Mack truck, and he's probably 6'5", and he's just a monster of a man. Well, I see him in the back, and at first I said, well, this will be interesting. This is cool. Rich is here. That's cool. I feel supported. This is a good thing. And then he slowly started working his way up towards the stage. And I'm like, okay, I know the way Rich is. He doesn't like to not be the center of attention everywhere he goes. Oh, and he continued to move his way up. And then he got right up to the stage. He's standing in front of you, like between you and the stage, because of course my beautiful wife was in the front row on Jake's side, but that's the only place there was an open seat.
I got a chair because you told me all of the seats are taken in the front row. So I went and I grabbed a chair and I put it in the front row. It just happened to be on the wrong side. I didn't realize it.
No, it's fine.
But I was there. I had your back. I was like security for you.
I even mentioned you while I was up there. Don't get on her bad side, and pointed to her. But anyway, Rich was close enough to the stage where he could have stepped up onto the stage if he wanted to. And he kept raising his hand like, I want to be involved in this. Please let me be involved. And he kept like trying to, like he wanted to talk. And this was going on for 5 minutes. At least to me on stage, it felt like 5 minutes.
At least 3.
Okay, fine.
3 minutes.
Because there's a huge difference between 3 and 5. But that could have gone dirty. But anyway, listen. I'm up there and I've got all of this stuff, all this data processing in my head. I'm up against a heavy hitter, folks. Jake is a super smart guy. I've said that since the beginning. And then we've got this big fella that is just wanting so badly to be involved in this. And I said, hey, Rich, we got this. It's okay. We got a whole thing we're doing up here. It's all good. And that just, that sent me into a tailspin. Briefly. It was brief.
Because it looked like he was really upset that you told him you had it. And, so.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
And who wants to be in that position where you think, man, I really didn't mean to make him think I was mad or anything. But, I could kind of think maybe that was something going through your head, which caused you.
Of course it was.
Caused you to be like, But
yeah, I lost all train of thought. I was
past it.
I was just like, and Jake was like, do you want me to take this, dude? Like, you want to take a break for a second and I'll go. And I said, yes, please. And then he did. And I was able to regroup and we had a lot of fun.
It was fun.
There was no winner in the debate. More gifted memberships. Geez, we're going to be thanking you all very soon.
Third or fourth person that's done that.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
So wonderful.
at the end, we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish, which is to bring to light, to bring to the surface the fact that, the saltwater side of this hobby and the freshwater side are very, very different. And it's different more than just they put salt in their aquariums and it's more than that. It goes to the people. It's almost like the people are divided. You've got the saltwater side over here at Aquashella. You've got the freshwater side over here. And what Jake and I are trying to do is start the conversation between the two sides so that we can all enjoy this hobby together, because it doesn't need to be, no, I don't really go over there because I'm a saltwater guy, or I don't go over there because I'm a freshwater guy. We need to all be looking at this as we all are wackos that keep glass boxes full of water. Just because yours has a little bit of salt in it and you have all of these fancy gizmos and gadgets doesn't make your side better. And just because we have CO2 injection and high-tech lighting and all of this nonsense doesn't make ours better. We are all doing the same thing. Let's all come together and can't we all just be friends, kind of thing. And it worked. I think we successfully were able to do that. In fact, afterwards, it was on Saturday.
Yeah.
I found out that they were doing this on a podcast. The Reef Beef podcast was filming and recording live at the event. And I've never met those guys. I had listened to their podcast a few times, but I had never met them. I'd seen them a million times in person, but I'd never met them. And I was invited to go on that. And it was basically, I saw somebody trying to go political here a little while ago. Let's refrain from that. But I do have to bring up a political figure here. Steven Crowder has the whole thing where he does blankety blankety blank change my mind. That's a series that he does on YouTube. It's very controversial depending on what side of the aisle you're on, and I don't really care what side you're on. What they did was saltwater is better than freshwater. Change my mind. And they kept having us freshwater guys and gals go sit with them and just have the conversation. Let's have a conversation about this. And so I was able to go over there not long after doing my talk.
I thought that was Sunday.
It was on Sunday because it was when Jason was on stage. Yep, I'm remembering now.
Oh, yeah, because I didn't know where you were. You were like, I'm going to go do a podcast. And I'm like, where? And then I look, there's no live stream going on. I go over to Jason's talk, and then I get told that somebody said they liked what Jason and I were doing on the channel. And
that was a big problem all weekend.
I was like, oh, well, I'm not with the guy on the stage. That's not my half. It was so funny. Anyways, sorry, go ahead.
We have to put a stop here real quick, briefly, just because I saw it. Christopher Scott can't afford a super chat, which is fine. That's totally fine. But want to tell everyone I proposed to my girlfriend of 6.5 years and she said yes. And now we are getting married. Bravo to you, my friend.
Congratulations.
Absolutely. Bravo to you. So, went over there, sat with those two guys, Richard Ross and Ben. I'm a terrible person. His last name is escaping me, but he's like one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. We shared an Uber with him on Sunday and it was an absolute blast.
That should have been like an episode of Ubers.
If we could have gotten that on film.
That show Taxi or something, they used to do videos on, in there. If they could have done that in the Uber, that was the funniest Uber ride I have ever taken in my life.
And it didn't involve us at all. It involved Ben and the driver. The driver was a Chicagoan. Is that what you call him?
Oh, yeah.
And Ben is from Texas, Houston, I believe.
Hilarious.
And they just went at it in a friendly way. It was, Chicago versus Texas. It was a lot of fun. It was about 18-minute Uber ride, and it was so much fun and entertaining. But when I sat with them on Sunday, it was a blast. I was supposed to go over there and sit down for about 15 minutes. I think I was there about 45, and we just went back and forth, and we all found that we all feel the same way, that no side of the hobby is better than the other. We all need to come together. This division that we have is stupid, and we really all should be together and doing this. And, and I said, listen, I think that they should even mix it up. If you go to Aquashella, like, I don't know if it's half, but it's about half of the event is saltwater. Maybe not half, because the aqua crib is also on that side, and the two stages were on that side. So it's not as many booths as the freshwater side, but when you're standing in the middle of the show, it looks like half of it is saltwater, half of it is freshwater. The saltwater side all has the lights off, and that's to make the corals glow, and they've got their special lighting and all that kind of stuff. So it would make it hard to mix them in, but whatever. I mean, but I think it would be really cool if we were all mixed up. And, I said some things. If you watch the video that I did with Jake, I said saltwater fish keepers are snobs in that video.
You didn't hold back.
And I said that up on the stage too. And it did not cause the uproar that I thought maybe it would have, but it's only because there was like 12 saltwater people there. So that would be why. It was, everybody understood what we were going for, and it was a lot of fun. And other than the little mix up with Rich, which, by the way, I'm sorry to say it this way, but being the grown ass man that he is, Rich came to me as soon as he walked into the event on Sunday, because he left immediately. Like, I didn't get a chance to see him after the talk. First thing he did when he got to the show on Sunday was come up to me and apologize for what had happened the day before. So I thought a lot of that, and that, if there was any feelings whatsoever about what had happened, there wasn't any more as soon as that happened. So I don't even know if it was as much of an apology as it was him explaining why he did what he did, but it doesn't matter to me. That squashed it, and everything was good. There is zero drama between Ohio Fish Rescue and I. And there never really was.
Me, on the other hand, I got your back, John.
I know. She was sitting at the front row on the edge of her seat, like, I'm coming up there if I need to. I mean,
don't make me pull my hair out.
She had me. I felt very well protected.
I'm just kidding.
But it was an amazing event. It was an amazing conversation that got started. And I think, spoiler alert, I think Jake might have us both convinced that we want to start our own saltwater tank. Our tanks would be very different.
Nano one for me with no fish. But he said, you have to have fish.
Yeah.
I said, no, I just want the little things that do this.
Well, we are both talking about doing something like that in the fish room. And, we probably will never show it on video, because those videos always do bad. Maybe it would be something just for us. I don't know. But, maybe our channel can be that thing that bridges that gap between freshwater and saltwater. I don't know. I've tried before, and the videos didn't do horrible, but they also didn't change the world or anything like that. So, other than that, we both received quite a few gifts that we want to share with everyone, because they are from people that are in the chat. And one of them actually a gift that was given to both of us. One of them is in the chat right now. I know for a fact.
Yeah. You go first, because I've already done, I've already shared one thing. I got to start with this one. Okay, go ahead. I'm so excited.
So you got to get yours ready. So
mine's ready.
Everybody knows there is a man in the chat, and his beautiful wife, Jeff H, is in the chat right now. And he's already done it today. So everybody knows what Jeff H does. And when he does this, I always say, Jeff H pooped on us. Why?
Because that's what Jeff H does.
That's what Jeff H does. He poops on us every single week. Now, we knew that they were going to be there. They made it clear to us that they were going to be there in Chicago. I don't know why this is the case, but I envisioned them to be a very young couple. They're our age.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know how old they are, but they're probably our age. I was surprised by that. For some reason, I was expecting to see a really young couple. Doesn't matter, because they are awesome, and I don't even really know why I said that, to be honest. But
because you're John and you just say...
I say whatever's on my mind, but...
stuff.
Wonderful couple. They have ordered from us multiple times from our website, and they're in here every single week. They're just great folks.
Super nice.
And Jeff thought that it would be fun to take his pooping on me to a whole other level.
I know.
While also supporting a hobby that I have, which is, you see him there, collecting bobbleheads. He decided he was going to buy me a poop emoji bobblehead. Have you ever seen anything more adorable than that bobbling piece of poop right there? Come on.
That's so cute.
I almost pooped myself when he pulled that out. He gave this and the gift that you got. They gave them to us during the VIP event on Friday night, which is awesome. If you're not familiar, Aquashella, it's a new thing they started in Dallas. They're doing a VIP event for VIP ticket holders, which is a dinner that is on Friday night before the show even starts. Jeff and his wife, Ellen, happened to be there, so they came to the event. And this is when they gave us our wonderful gifts.
I was like so overwhelmed that night.
I have to tell them.
We got in and I was just like, okay, we're going to go put everything in, the hotel, like in our room. And then we're going to go down because we got in kind of late. So I was just like, okay, so here we go. We're just going to go sit down. And I'm not going to lie, the food sucked. But
you're also a vegetarian.
I'm a vegetarian, so there wasn't the stuff that I really liked. But your stuff looked good. All you carnivorous people look like you had some good food. But yeah, so eating wasn't a big deal to me, but I just felt slightly overwhelmed because I hadn't gone to Aquashella the last 2 times, and I forgot there's a lot of people there.
But here's the thing. Here's what she's not telling you. And this is a fact. Jeff and his wife, Ellen, could attest to this, and so could Whip's World because he was sitting at the table with us.
I felt bad for Whip's World.
We sat at a table to have our dinner, and then Jeff and Ellen came up, and we were having a nice conversation with them. And then I turn around, and now I'm standing there. I'm talking to Jeff and Ellen. It's just us 3, and it's wonderful. Everybody else, the YouTubers and all of them are over there, and they're all, having their meals and having a conversation, and it's great. But this one here had a line 15 people deep.
Oh, not 15.
It was 15 people deep lined up to meet her. And it was not exaggerating.
He exaggerates. It was not.
Maybe
I met that many altogether, but not at one time.
It was a beautiful thing to see because I was just like standing there like, this is wonderful because nobody wants to talk to me. Everybody wants to talk to her. It's not that I don't want to talk to people, but I like seeing you get the attention, and that was awesome.
Well, you know me, I don't like attention. That's the thing. But
you also complain when you don't get it.
No, I don't.
She does. She's like, nobody.
He exaggerates.
She says, nobody wants to go there to see me. They all want to go there to see you. No,
because
it's not true.
Everybody loves your beard.
Whatever.
No, it was so fun though. I just wish I had more time with each person individually to talk like about the betas and the discus, because I met some awesome people and I tried to take as many selfies as I could with people, but I'll forget at times. But
Jeff H just said at least 15. Thank you, Jeff.
Oh my gosh. But anyway,
it's true.
I just really enjoyed talking to everybody. And when somebody comes up and says, it's because of you that my beta is in a better tank and has survived, and they just tell me their story, it's like, I love it. I love hearing all that. So like I said, I just wish I had more time with each person because I want to hear everybody's stories. That's all. But let me share my gift from Ellen.
Because he also received a gift from the Horchers. Was I not supposed to say your last name? I'm sorry, Jeff. But everybody, 84,000 people know that now.
Yeah, they say H. Okay, so there's 6, and you're just going to have to bear with me. Isn't it the cutest? You stick a plant in it. I'm going to propagate more succulents just to put all of these, I have to use all of these. It's like I can't even say it because I'm so excited about every single one of these. They're so cute. They know that I love cats. and I love plants. And what better gift than little kitty cat plant holders? And also Joanna from Prime Time was like, oh my gosh, they're so cute, because she does like miniature stuff. But they're just super adorable. Thank you, Ellen and
You
Jeff.
should have seen her face, and you probably should have seen my face too when I opened my gift. It was it was something special to see.
People know me.
Cats,
they know I love betas. They know I love artwork. They know I love cats. They know I love plants, and it's just, I feel so special.
Notice she mentioned everything but me. I'm just saying. Anyway,
what about you?
There's some shenanigans going on in the chat right now that you're not going to be too happy about.
Me?
One of our where did it go? Yeah, one of our people here has done crossed the line. This is what it says. I would love to rub my fingers slowly through that beard.
Who said that?
While keeping eye contact.
It had to have been Rico Stan.
It was indeed Rico Stan, who has a more glorious beard than I do. Ligate 12. I haven't seen him in here yet. He's probably here. Another guy that did exactly what I told him to do. I said, when you get there, he said he wasn't going to be able to be there till Sunday. When you get there, stare at me awkwardly until I figure out who you are. And he did. And I had forgotten that I said that. And so I'm like, hey. And he's like, you told me to stare at you awkwardly. And I said, oh no. So that was cool meeting him and
so cool.
And his 3 adorable kids. But I got another. And the beard is glorious in person too, by the way. Got another gift that I must
one come
show
from?
up. This
that
one?
other one.
That's from Jason.
Oh.
So again, my friend Jason Adams.
Shouldn't you do that?
I'm going to show it first. Jason wouldn't want me to make a big deal out of this, but it is a big deal to me because I have more than one bobblehead gifted to me from Jason Adams, but I'm not able to show the other one for reasons. You don't need to know the reasons, but it's nothing inappropriate. But Jason went to a baseball game for the Schaumburg Boomers because he lives in Chicago. And Schaumburg is where the event took place, and they were giving out this guy. It's I guess the Boomers mascot. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say his name's probably Boomer. And I think he's absolutely adorable. And he's like, you probably won't like it. I'm fighting off a sneeze here. You probably won't care because you're not a fan of the team and all of that. But I thought you might like this. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I like bobbleheads. I don't care what it is. And he's absolutely adorable. Probably the most detailed and beautiful stadium giveaway bobblehead I've ever seen. It's gorgeous. Yeah. And I love him. And he'll be up on the shelf as soon as we're done with the stream here. But this one, both of those were very special and I will cherish them forever. But this next one was extraordinary. And if you were watching the live stream where we dominated, or was it when you weren't there? I got this when you were there, right?
Yeah, because I heard the story. Yeah. Yeah.
If you were watching the live stream of the Cornhole tournament when Lisa and I dominated the field, afterwards, a gentleman walked up to me. He's in the chat. I don't know if he's here tonight, but he's in the chat under Echo Delta is his name. I
saw him. Yeah.
Okay. He came up to me and he said, John, my 6-year-old daughter thinks it's cool that you collect bobbleheads. And she said, Daddy, John has Superman, which is right there. Mm-hmm. And he has Catwoman, which I still haven't found. It's still in a box. I still haven't found. Yeah.
I thought you found her.
I still haven't found her. She's not up there. Yeah, she's not up there. She said, and his daughter's name is, I believe, I wrote it down. I believe it's Maybell, not Mabel. Maybell, right, is the way you pronounce her name.
I don't remember.
6 years old, she said, Daddy, he needs a Batman bobblehead. So, what happened? The Dark Knight himself.
That's so cool.
He brought me this glorious Batman, and his head moves too. Check him out. How special is that, folks? How lucky of a guy am I that somebody's 6-year-old daughter said, we got to get that guy a bobblehead. So that just floored me when that happened. And it happened on the live stream. And Jesse, because all he does is work, he grabbed the camera and put it on me while I was opening this up. And it's very, very cool. I haven't seen it yet, but I know he said he got a good shot of it. So if you if you haven't subscribed to the Aquashella channel, you should, and you should go and watch that. It's in one of the cornhole videos. I'm not sure which one. At the very end, you see me open this guy up, and that was a super, super special moment for me.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Thank you, Echo Delta, and thank you to your beautiful daughter. Give her a big fat hug and kiss for me, because I love me some Batman. So
awesome.
Is that it for you as far as gifts go? Except for the 86 things you won in the daggone raffle? Well,
look. All right.
Cornhole's not the only thing we dominated that weekend.
Well, this is the thing. All right. I like the raffle. I love raffles. I didn't get to go Saturday, so I put all my money into it Sunday that I brought for the weekend. So that's what I did. And I got a lot of tickets. I had Crystal with me, Whip's World's wife. She came with me, and I got the tickets, and I put them in everything that I thought I would want, and some stuff. This is what I do. If I know people that are going to be there that drive, I'll put in for stuff that I know if I can't take it on a plane, I know I can give it to people. Not a big deal. So that's what I do. But I'm like one of the very few people that put in for like the magazines, because I like my knowledge. And see, I won them. I won a bunch of magazines, actually. I even got more saltwater magazines, because I won some last time too, because eventually I might start a saltwater tank. But anyways, yeah, I put in for like a bunch of stuff, and I won a few things. But you know what? I paid for it. I didn't just get it for free, right? I paid for it, and half of it I gave away to either Whip's World or Chattanooga Ed. So there.
Whip's World texted me during the raffle, because I'm not going to stand there for an hour while Peter reads off all the people that won the raffle, especially when half of them are going to be her. But he texted me during the raffle and said, "Your wife must be the luckiest person in the planet." And I said, "Oh no, that means she's winning everything." And there was one thing I won I didn't even realize I put in for, and I was like, because I didn't know how. I was like thinking, why did I put in for that? Because I don't even remember putting in for that, and who would I give it to? And here comes Whip's World, and he's like, "I'll take it." And I was like, okay. So he got it, but it was so funny. It was the funnest thing ever, because I just like to hear my number. That's all. Somebody asked, where is Robin? The Robin bobblehead. So as far as the DC characters go, it's a Royal bobblehead, which is actually like the #1 brand of bobbleheads. And in the DC collection that they have on this page is Superman, which I already have, Wonder Woman, which I do not have, and Batman. They don't have a Robin. So I don't know where Robin is. He's not made yet, but somebody did say, I thought you might find this interesting. Catherine Thomas said, "I feel like I see a lot more women here than in other streams." It ain't because of the beard. We all know what is bringing them in.
It's the beard. I'm telling you, it's the beard.
No, it's you, my love.
Oh, you're so sweet.
So what else do we have to recap? Some of the coolest aquascapes I've ever seen in my life. Were, I mean, I don't understand how these people do what they do. They are artists at another level. This was the championship, the $5,000 grand prize.
That Jen won, and Mel came in second. But you know what? This is the thing. Every single scape was so beautiful. Like, so many people just did such a wonderful job. Like Grant and Shelby did a really wonderful job, and Jenna and I'm having a brain too. Jenna and her group, they did a wonderful job. Like all of them.
Let me clarify. Echo Delta said it is Mabel, by the way.
Oh, okay.
But
awesome. And
yeah.
who else was doing all? I mean, there were so many people scaping that I lost track. Like,
well, there was Grant and Shelby. Theirs was awesome, of course. Did you already bring them up?
yeah, duh.
Here's my thing with those. Okay. It shows how much I don't know because Jen's was spectacular.
Yeah.
Shelby and Shelby and Grant's was amazing. Those two are next level for sure. The one that Mel did with Will was amazing. I mean,
I love the Blackwater.
But the thing is, I looked at every single one of them, and I'm talking about people I don't know. You know, there was like 12 tanks that were done, and I was like, any of these could win, and I will not be surprised.
Right.
I mean, when I saw Jen's, I've known Jen since 2015. I met her the first time.
Yeah.
And we've known Mel for a while. I adore both of those women, and so do you. Of course, I was rooting for them. Of course, I was rooting for Grant and Shelby because, again, they're friends of ours. But any of them could have won, and I would have been like, I get it.
All amazing. And I just remember Jenna's group was Jenna, Berkeley, and Kelly Foreman, I believe, was in the group with them. It was all three of them, and they did a really good job too.
They were all gorgeous. I mean, I really did this. I stood there like this, and I spent time looking at every single one of them. Yeah. And every single one of them, I was like, I will never, ever do something that nice, ever.
Well, it was
every
on
one
such
of them.
a large scale, too. It wasn't like the little nano tanks, like the smaller tanks.
But even with those, we got to talk about the creator contest, the creator aquascaping contest, which you were a part of and you did a great job. Same thing. I looked around and I said, yeah, literally any one of those can win. I would not be surprised if any of them did.
They were all super, super nice. And I remember, oh my gosh, it was so funny. We were coming up towards the end and we were waiting for Shelby and Grant to come over and do their tanks because not only did they participate in the fluval one, they came over and did the creators one
they
individually.
They are aquascaping junkies.
And there was an extra tank left. And I turned around and I said to Jess, I was like, why don't you do it? Why don't you do this extra one? And she was like, I think I took her off guard, just from the metalheads. And so she ended up coming over and doing Escape. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, hers auctioned off the most, the most money got brought in from Jess's tank, and I just thought that was awesome.
Yeah, all in all, I mean, listen, I am inspired when I see those tanks. It makes me want to redo all of mine.
And Joanna won.
Yes.
Joanna
and Carrie got People's Choice, right? Wasn't that what it was?
I don't remember what
think it was People's
everybody
Choice.
got, but yeah, that's awesome.
Joanna won, which is amazing. Got to meet Joanna's sister, who is a twin, and it was weird.
That was funny.
Because I saw her from a distance, and I was like, "Oh, there's Joanna." No, what? That's Joanna. Joanna's there, and she's also there. Took me by surprise. I did not realize she had a twin sister. They're not identical twins, but they're pretty daggone close. And it was it was really, really cool to see. So nice to meet her. She helped out at the Primetime Aquatics booth, which was really funny because everybody kept going up to her and saying, "Oh, Joanna, I'm such a huge fan." And she, by the end of the event, she was like, "I'm not Joanna, that's my sister."
But it was too much. Is, I'm not even her twin, and I got it.
That's right.
Like, we were in the bathroom Friday night. Me, Joanna, and Kasha went to the bathroom, and it was after the event where, it was the meet and greet. We went to the bathroom because we were going to go downstairs and look at the scaping stuff to get an idea of, how to do our scapes. And I come out of the stall and I'm washing my hands and somebody goes, to me, prime time. And I said, no. And I went like that. I was like, that's her.
That's her right next to me.
And she started saying how much she enjoyed, the stuff that they do. But the interesting thing is, she was talking about saltwater. And we were like, we just kept looking at each other like, well, I think she's really got us confused big time, because the stuff she was talking about, we were like, I don't know what that is, as far as saltwater goes. And we're coming out of the bathroom and the conversation leads outside of the bathroom. And Mike, Fish Tank Barn, he's out there and he's like, yeah, that was saltwater she's talking about, because he knows saltwater.
To my knowledge, Jason and Joanna have never touched saltwater on YouTube.
So not only were her and I confused, the whole channel and saltwater and freshwater was confused, but that's okay. She was so nice. Super sweet lady.
This is the first time I never had anybody come up to me thinking I was Jason. I mean,
What?
that happens on almost every show.
Well, I got confused as to who my husband was. Like, I was told, people thought I was with the other bearded guy.
Yeah, because Aquashella was advertising Jason as being part of KG Tropicals, which was funny.
Oh.
But yeah, that was fun.
Oh my God, Rico Stan. Why does he do that to us in chats and distract us and make us laugh?
Oh, jeez. He's a nasty one, that guy.
We love him.
All in all, it was a lot of fun. Apparently a lot of people have come down with an ailment afterwards, which, people made fun of me for wearing a hoodie all weekend. And I'm a guy that when I wake up, I start sweating. I mean, I'm always hot and sweaty. I'm hot and sweaty right here, right now. But I wore my hoodie the entire time because it was just a little chillier than what I wanted.
I felt like when I walked in there, I was walking into a refrigerator. So
it was really cold in there.
That's why everybody's sick.
Yeah, and it hit Jason real hard. Like he was being kind of whiny all weekend. I'm just picking on him.
I think it started Saturday night. He started feeling a little.
That's when it started to go downhill, and he needed to do a talk on Sunday too, which definitely did not help his whole thing. So, but yeah, all in all, an amazing weekend. Did not get to have my hangout session involving Jason on Saturday night because he bailed because he's a baby and had to go home and take care of his little sniffles.
Well, he had a talk first thing in the morning.
I
so
know. I like
it.
giving him a hard time. He ain't listening to this anyway. I could say whatever I want to say and it's not going to get back to him.
There's replay.
But we did have, I had a nice meeting with him and Drew and Boss Aquatics, the four of us, and Boss's friend, which I do not recall his name. I'm sorry if you're in here, claimed to be my number one fan. Shame on me for not remembering his name. It was the five of us, and then Shelby and Grant came, and then Carrie came, and basically none of us could talk anymore. It was the Shelby and Carrie show, but that was still fun. That was probably till 1 a.m. and then Saturday it was me, Fish Tank Barn. No, it was not Fish Tank Barn. No, it was. Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
How dare me? Me, James, Whip's World, and Mike Howe until 12:30ish, and it was a great time. We had a good time. That's what I enjoy that more. No offense, but I don't get a lot of time hanging out with friends, so I love being at the events and meeting new people and being able to say hi people that I only see by way of text. Throughout our entire job. It's a beautiful thing, and I love that. And then on top of that, I get to hang out with friends afterwards. It just makes for the perfect weekend. I
totally will not ever forget this one moment, though. And hopefully Boss Aquatics does not get upset with me when he finds out I'm repeating this.
Uh-oh.
He is so funny. When I was going to meet you Friday, I was getting ready to go up to the elevator or go to the elevator to go up to the room. And I just texted you, where are you at? Cause I was just going to come tell you goodnight. But I was walking from like the restaurant area, I guess, to the elevator. And I look over and Boss Aquatics says, hey, where's John? And I'm like, I don't know. And at the same time, he's getting ready to walk down the escalator that was coming up. And I was like, I'm getting ready to see somebody die because this is so dangerous. And he was like, oop, I had a couple drinks. But then when he was over there talking to you a few minutes later, after I had gone up and come back down and was getting to go back up again, he seemed fine. So
yeah, I mean, I didn't even.
We all have brain toots. I get it.
I think he sobered up as soon as he came and sat down with us. He was like, "Oh, I got to act like a responsible human being." He's probably
like,
here.
"I almost died on that escalator. I better straighten up."
This is the last thing I want to say about Aquashella. Whip's World did the same thing. Now, Whip's World.
Oh yeah.
He's not an old man.
Right way. He went the right way.
He's a little bit more senior than us. Dor, that guy, and. For some reason, he thought it would be fun. And this is after the dinner on Saturday night. It's late, probably. I mean, it's probably 9 o'clock. It's not like it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
That's late to me.
The escalators at that hotel are rather fast. And I got up like a normal person would, and you got on. And then James, I think, was with us going up the escalator the appropriate way. And Whip's World thought it would be funny to go up the down escalator. Again, few years senior to me. And I could tell about 4 steps in, he was like, oh, this was a mistake. But he couldn't stop. And he had to go all the way up. And he needed to take a little break after that. It was
He got all the way up there going the wrong way before we got up there.
I was watching him like, oh, dude, I really feel bad for you because you've committed to this. You can't stop now. And it was pretty scary, but he made it. He made it okay.
I think I'd have been struggling at step 3 and not got past step 3.
It was funny. It was funny to watch. I honestly didn't think he was going to make it, but he made it. So
I had all the confidence he would make it.
We are way behind here. Let's get into this. Joe Provenzano said, "Who won the debate? Will it be on YouTube?" You probably said that before I did all of the explaining of it. We both won, and I'm not saying that as a cop out. I'm not saying like, I really do feel that way, and that was the goal. It wasn't meant for either one of us to win. It was basically to try to start building community, and I think we were successful. One fun thing happened at the debate that we forgot to mention, and she possibly could be in here right now.
Fatima.
Yeah. Our friend Fatima, who we met at the Navy Pier 2 weeks prior, she stood up in the debate.
So funny.
And I had said, part of the thing that I had said in the debate was, if you're willing to look hard enough, you could set up a freshwater tank, a nice one, for $50.
Right.
There's no way you can do that with a saltwater tank. And, then we got into the expense debate.
Out.
When we opened up for questions at the end, she stood up. And I don't know if you've ever been on stage for anything, but when you're on stage and the lights are shining on you, you really can't see the audience all that well. You just see basically silhouettes. And I could tell it was this little girl. And she said, you said in the debate that we could set up a tank for $50, but I remember you talking in a video about how you had to spend at least $200.
But it was the video that she said. She goes,
the aquarium suck video.
Yeah, she goes, I remember in your video, aquariums suck, that you couldn't spend under $200 or something like that. And it was just, she was so matter-of-factly. She was like, I remember in the video, aquariums suck. And like her dad's right there. She's probably like 10 or 11. And it was hilarious. But the thing that was funny was that I did not at the time recognize that it was her because I could barely see her. I knew it was a little girl, but I couldn't tell that it was actually her. And I was halfway through answering the question when I realized that it was her, and that made it very special. But I was able to, finagle my way out of that, barely, because she had me. She had you. But I had already run into her before that happened, so I knew she was there.
That was my first time seeing her, but it was precious. And I actually, her dad came up to me afterwards and he was like, she's sad because she thinks that she may have upset you for bringing that up. And I'm like, are you crazy? No, I'm glad you brought that up.
That was hilarious.
I'm glad you called me out. I mean, it was really
gosh.
cool. So, Stephen P gifted the 5 memberships a long time ago. Thank you, Stephen P, for doing that. That was at 8:04. Good grief. Sorry it took us so long to get to it, but we had a long recap that we had to do. Terry's Tropical Tanks became a member. Welcome to the team. It does not say on here who are the members that were gifted. It did say it in the chat, but it doesn't say it on my screen.
Terry was at Aquashella. He was there on Saturday. We met Terry.
Nice.
I was like, at first I was like, this guy looks so familiar to me. And then after I heard his voice a few times, I was like, I know who this is because I've heard him before on a stream. So I was like, that's it, Terry.
It gets overwhelming. We meet so many people there and everybody's so amazing. I mean, there was one person that was upset with me and I was actually kind of taken off guard.
What?
And it was a customer of ours that we had shipped their order out to him and the order was damaged in shipping. And I did not know that it was damaged. He said that he had tried to email us about it. I didn't get the email. I promise. And I check my spam folder all the time too.
That's weird.
So he was not all of that happy, but I said, hey, listen, give me your name. I'll take care of you. It's no big deal. And we did. We sent him another jar. It was a jar of pH neutralizer that got damaged. And he actually showed me pictures standing right there. Like, here it is. And it was all blown up. I don't know what in the heck the Postal Service did with that. But then after that, the conversation was very pleasant and he was a super cool guy. So I don't have any complaints there, but that was the only one that started a little awkward, but then got really, really good. And it's all taken care of now. Everybody that we met it's so amazing. Some of them, you're walking through the event and they just grab you. Hey, can I take a picture with you real quick? And you take a picture and that's all you see of them.
I felt so bad for this one guy. He came up during the raffle and they were getting ready to call the number and he wanted to take a selfie. And I'm sitting here looking at my numbers and I'm like, okay. Because I didn't want to miss my number being called. And I was like, okay. But it was so funny.
I mean, it's a trip. Either way is fine by me. Some people want to stick around and have a chat for 15 minutes while others are just like, hey, let me take this picture and get out of here. And we're like, okay, cool. It's just a beautiful thing. We are two extraordinarily lucky people.
I was actually super surprised because Friday night when we were at the meet and greet, I had a young man come up to me and he was so sweet. He was like, Lisa, and he goes into, his thing about, our channel and just everything and how happy he was to meet us and stuff. And he said, or I asked him, I said, where are you from? And he said, Richmond, Virginia. And I was like, we're in Chicago and you came here and you're from Richmond, Virginia. I said, do you realize that I am actually from that area? We just moved to North Carolina. And I was like, do you ever go to Schools of Fish? It's one of my favorites in Richmond. And he goes, yeah. And then I was like, well, what's your name? And he told me his name. It was Corel. And he said that he went to, I think he said middle school in it was Powhatan.
Powhatan?
Maybe, no, I don't think it was Powhatan, but it was over there. And it was I don't know, it wasn't Pocahontas, I don't think he said, but it was something like that. But it wasn't Powhatan either. But anyways, it just reminded me of that. So I just thought it was really cool. And then I started asking him, well, do you know, maybe you know my nephews, they go to school in Richmond. And so I named off Radley and Mason's name and stuff. He's like, no.
No, we don't all know each other in that area.
But I just think it was really cool. He was so close.
So, of course, I already mentioned Terry's Tropical Tanks becoming a member. And then we get to Jeff H. pooping on us because...
That's what Jeff H. does.
In more ways than one, might I add. Thank you so much for that, Jeff. Very nice meeting you, and thank you for the beautiful gifts for both of us. And then Terry's Tropical Tank said, you know what? I don't only want to become a member, but I also want to give 5 other people memberships.
So nice of Terry.
Thank you so much for that, Terry. High Performance Trucking said the home lost power during the hurricane, had a generator, and only lost 1 African cichlid. Think we got lucky. You did get lucky. I mean, that's very, very good. The only thing that would have made that comment better would have been if you said, I bought the generator because I watched your video last week. The video that nobody watched, but that I'm glad you were able to work it out. That's good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The generator is, like I said in that video, you don't ever want to have to use it, but it changes the way you feel if you have it, knowing that if something happens, you're ready. You're ready. You can handle it. It's no big deal. And for us, it's particularly nice because we're fortunate in that we were able to buy a generator for the house and the fish house. Mm-hmm. Because if you only have one, which one is better than nothing, but you only have one, now you need to start picking and choosing. Do I put the fan on me while I'm sleeping, or do I put the heater on in the aquarium?
Oh, we would tricky, just be hanging out in the fish room,
or we'd be getting a hotel.
No, we'd be in the fish house.
Yeah, that's when it's brutal. But Mark K. Pets became a member. Welcome to the team. Only Oscars right after that said, still a fry. I'd be full grown if I was an Oscar. So only Oscars. The reason for that is what?
June.
What?
June. Her name is June.
Everybody's a fry. And the reason why is because when we first started out the memberships, we did the dumb thing of making a bunch of tiers. I'm not saying anybody who does that was dumb. I'm saying it was dumb for us to do that. And when we cut it all back to just one level, the way it was set up, I couldn't start all over again. I basically had to take everybody back down to the fry level. And so everybody's fry. That's cool. I could probably change that to, crazy people that like to keep glass boxes full of water. I think that's probably more appropriate, but we'll have to see. Jeff H came in again and said, fantastic meeting everybody. Ellen came home with some beta art also, and I got my wood. He did get wood.
He got some really nice wood.
It was a spectacular, massive, giant, humongous piece. And they drove, so they were able to take that home with them. But yeah, that was awesome. And that is by far the thing I wish I could take home from these events is the wood, because that booth that sells the driftwood, I'm sorry, it is the most spectacular booth in all of Aquashella every time. Now, an argument could be made that the Oase booth is better, but it's different because the driftwood booth is you go there and buy stuff. You can't buy stuff from Oase. So it's a different thing. It's more of a showroom for Oase, where the driftwood one is just a obscene amount of driftwood, and it's gorgeous. And Jeff got probably the biggest biggest piece in the whole thing.
I have to argue that, because I would say the Zen Aqua booth is my favorite.
Yep, that's very nice.
Favorite booth. And,
that is
and
very
he's
nice.
Doing such good stuff.
We love Mike, of course. I mean, come on.
Check out Zen Aqua. Check it out.
Absolutely. Kevin Barnes, I lost all my peacocks in my 75 gallon. Ouch. Oh, no. I'm starting over. Bought 126 foot long, but that's on the side. But the 75, I bought 2 FX6s, and I'm starting over with cichlids. Would you start the American or African? All right, let me redo this, Kevin, because you confused me there for a little bit. Starting over, I bought 126 feet long, but that's on the side.
On the side, okay.
But the 75, I bought 2 FX6s, and I'm starting over. Okay. First of all, the 2 FX6s should go on the 125. That is way overkill for the 75.
Yeah.
Now, I understand, in the filtration game, particularly with cichlids, African cichlids, there's no such thing as too much filtration. They love a lot of flow. They poop a lot. They eat a lot, and you're going to have a lot of them in there. So more filtration is better. Wouldn't tell you the same thing for an angel tank or a discus tank or a beta tank, even though our discus tank has more filtration on it than the 360 does.
Yeah.
So I mean, listen, if I'm being honest with you, I would either do an FX6 on both, You already have 2 of them.
Not the 75.
Well, I've done that before, and it just keeps it real nice and clean.
2 on
It's
a
overkill.
75?
No. I'm not saying 2. I'm saying 1 on each.
Oh, okay.
1 on the 125, 1 on the 75. Then you don't have to buy any more filtration. Would you start with American or African? You cannot. I will not allow you to ask me that question because I love them both. We know if you watch this channel, unfortunately, we don't have them behind us anymore because Elon hasn't come through for us. But I love them both. I love my South American tank. It's South and Central American. I love my African tanks. I've got 2 Africans and 1 of the South and Central. You know what I'm saying?
You know.
And I love them all. I mean, it's a blast. I'm going to tell you all something that I realized today. You know, you're subscribed to this channel, so it's your fault for being a follower of such a stupid person. Not her, me.
Well, I'm married to you, so what's that say about me?
I got to question your judgment. But I made a mistake for 5 months, almost. It's a week shy of 5 months that I didn't even realize I made. I've wondered, why is my 240 with my peacocks and haps having such a hard time keeping up? Like, I don't understand it. I'm somebody, listen, I've had the most success when I don't fiddle with my tanks too much. Do water changes? Yes. Clean up the poop, make sure everything's okay. Absolutely. But when it comes to like cleaning out filters and things like that, I probably don't clean my filters out as much as you do. Should I clean them out more? Yeah, I probably should. But the tanks are fine. Fish are fine. But the 240, the Yellow Lab 240 is always immaculate. Maybe a little algae on the glass, but it's always perfect. And there's 70 fish in that tank now because she put all the babies in there that she raised up to about that big and put them in there. And they're just
that big now.
They're just loving their life.
They're
now.
so cute because they stay down low when the other ones go up. And when I feed them, I make sure that I put in pellets and flakes. I put spirulina flakes in so that it goes down to them and they eat it up.
It's fun. It's fun to get new free fish in there that we made. We made those fish. That tank always stays perfect, but the peacock and hap tank, not so much. And I figured out today why that is. The temperature today, I was not happy with the temperature. Doing a water change in the tank today. And I said, you know what, I'm going to add another heater in that. Grabbed a heater, put it down in the sump. I used the Aquatop heaters. And the reason why I did, yes, I sell them. Yes, I'm doing an advertisement for them because they are a little shorter than the Eheims. The Eheim 300 watt heater is too long to put into my sump. I would have to put it in the actual tank, which is fine. I mean, but I wanted to put them down because I've got big plans for both of those tanks. They're both going to get a major remodel here very soon. Do videos about them. Don't worry. So I picked out the Aquatops and I put them down in the sump. And then I'm like, why won't they go down? I don't understand why they won't go down. Let me explain to you how the sumps work on my 3 big tanks. Starts off with a filter sock tower. The water comes from the overflows at the top of the tank, goes down large pipes. I think they're 1.5 inch pipes, goes down into the filter sock tower where the water filters through, shocker, a filter sock. And then once it goes through that filter sock, it overflows into the primary sump, which is where you're going to have your pumps to pump the water back up. And that would be where you put your heaters and stuff like that too. You can put your heaters anywhere, but that's where I like to put them. So I can't get it to go down in there. And I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And then, I'm not very flexible. It's hard for me to get up there underneath the tank and all of that. But I had to. I got up underneath there and I took my phone and I put the light on and I said, I'll be damned. And that's when it hit me. I remembered why my tank is having a hard time keeping up, because for some stupid reason, I don't know why I did this. So I could blame it on Furlough and Whip's World because they were there. They should have noticed it. It's not their fault. It's mine.
At first, I thought you were going to say me because I thought it was one of the ones I stole.
It's always easier to blame you, but I can't find a way to blame you yet. I'll keep trying. But I had taken the filter sock. I don't know why I did this. I'm a stupid person. You're the one that's subscribed to me, so you have the problem, not me. I took the filter sock from the sock tower when we moved, and I put it into the sump.
Oh.
Don't ask me why, because I don't know. I don't know why I would have done something so stupid.
To remember to put it back on when you hooked it back up when you got there and
well, I didn't.
Everything back up.
It didn't work because I didn't remember. For 5 months, there has been 0 mechanical filtration in that tank. 0. So I fixed the problem today, and it was unfortunate because when I cleaned out the filter sock and then I put it back in the tower.
Why'd you clean it? Wasn't working. Didn't have to work.
Well, it had been sitting down in that sump for 5 months collecting nothing but African cichlid feces.
Well, you
it was
know
nasty.
What? Then it was doing some kind of job.
But because there's never been any mechanical filtration in that tank, it had all settled down at the bottom of the sump. And so when I turned those pumps back on after doing a 50% water change, poof, it was like this disgusting, horrible cloud of gnarliness.
It was pretty nasty today.
And so the tank was gnarly all day long. Did you shut everything down out there already?
I fed the fish, but I didn't turn the lights off because I want my plants to still get their light.
I don't know what it looks like now. We're going to have to go out there after the stream. That's what we always do. But to be fair, it was 2:00 in the morning. I know. And you know what? If there's anybody to be blamed, Eric, it's me, because they're my tanks and I'm the one that put it in there. So stupid me. Realized that today. I corrected the problem. And like I said, there's going to be a major remodel out there. There's going to be a lot. We've been talking about a lot of stuff out there. So,
well, and speaking of filtration, there were a lot of people that commented on the filtration as far as my sumps go and the for the beta rack. And so everybody knows I fixed the problem.
She did.
I completely redid the 2 sumps, and the sock that was on the end of the what do you want to call it, where the water drains out, the whatever, where the water would drain into the sump, there was a sock on there originally, but it just kept overflowing and causing problems. That's why John had taken it off. But I decided to take the sock and I cut just a very small hole at the bottom, because I figured if it's catching something, it's better than nothing. And then I put up 2
Matten filters.
Yeah. And I don't know the proper name for them. I apologize.
Well, I just told you it's Matten filters. Now you know.
So I stuck them up, or I put them in the middle so that when the water comes out through the sock, it has to go through the Matten filters before it goes through the pump. And I ended up putting pothos in there so that the roots were dangling down. So of course they will help to take the nitrate out, I hope. And yeah, it's doing really well. It's staying a lot more cleared up. But I also use those little the tea bag looking tannins from Fritz, and I stick those over on that side because I like to use the catappa leaves in my beta tanks, but they end up making kind of a mess and making it look like it's dirty. And I don't want to do that to the system. You know, I don't care about my personal tanks, but I didn't want to do it to the system. So I just put, you know, a bunch of those little tannin bags in there, so that helps circulate through. So my sump for the beta system is doing a lot better.
Listen, when I put that system together and I didn't have anything in the filtration, that was the first draft. It has been evolving ever since, and she has been doing a great job figuring out what's going to be the best way to do it. So
so I fixed both of them so it works best for me. I still have to get the poop out, but at least it filters so much better. Filters way better.
Melissa Jeswald said, I loved your short videos of the adorable baby and Oscars and the pet intro. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
we've been having so much fun with those. Some of them are brand new, some of them are clips from old videos, and people are freaking out like, oh, he shaved his beard, and does she know that he's like, I can't believe she lets him go on farmersonly.com.
Farmers Only.
They don't realize that they're from old videos, but
yeah, and it's Karen and Steve.
Yeah, it
not
was totally
Lisa
a spoof.
And John.
But that's a lot of fun. Thank you, Melissa, for noticing that. We've been putting them up 3 times a week, shorts. They're a lot of fun. We're going to run out of clips here soon, and we're going to have to start.
I made one today.
I know. We're going to have to start making originals like you did today. But it's fun. The shorts they're just fun. They're fun. I mean, we're going to have a lot of fun with those.
You know who makes really good shorts? Ed. Ed's shorts are so funny with Nico. I love his cat shorts. I know, John, it's 9:21.
I'm just saying.
He's on the side.
You keep going and going and going.
He's on the side, and he's like this to me. He's like...
Since I have an iPhone 14, the best phone ever. It's the always on display, and I just show her the clock like, hello, come on, you're going on and on and on.
The funny thing about that is you were watching a video about which phone had a better quality for the camera and video, and I said, oh, I bet I'll hear all about that if the iPhone is better, and I never heard anything.
Well,
about
that
it.
one YouTuber did say the iPhone 14, but will you be quiet so I can do these now? We got 9 minutes left.
Because my phone is better.
No, mine's way better.
Anyway.
But thank you, Melissa, for that. Rico Stan, did you happen to see any interesting clothes at Shella, like maybe leggings? I did not see any leggings.
I did.
Okay.
You want to know the funniest leggings I've ever seen? The ones with, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, Rico, but the ones with his face on it.
Did somebody have those there?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I didn't see those.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, because I ended up seeing a picture later on, I think it was Eric. And I didn't even put 2 and 2 together that Eric Wyrock was who he was, and he was there. And I didn't put 2 and 2 together like, oh, that's you. Okay, sorry to interrupt.
It's so hard to remember everybody's name and all. It's so tough. I mean, thousands and thousands of people.
I just meant face to a name, to a YouTube name. Like, you can know a name, but the YouTube name and the name, sometimes it's confusing.
Right. Callan Shepard became a member again. He's been gone for a while, but he came back. Adam Schoenwald with the 5 gifted KG Tropicals memberships.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
15 tonight, gifted memberships from the 3 amazing human beings. Callan Shepard then came in with a $10 super chat saying, I'm back. And he sounds,
welcome back. Just
imagine it just like the girl from Poltergeist, except it's not they're here, but it's I'm back. Just imagine him saying it that way. Furloughs Aquatics, happy Thursday. Aquashella seemed like an awesome time. Saw lots of cool pics and lots of cool people in them. You sure did. I mean, it's, that thing.
A lot of fun.
If you love this hobby, you will 100% love that event, period. So, yeah, it's a great time. And Furlough, we'll see you in Florida next year. Adam Schoenwald again, as if he hasn't done enough already tonight. Happy to catch a live show. Guess what? I have babies. My African cichlids are so happy they're breeding.
Aww.
Had to go buy a new tank to keep the babies safe. Been there, done that, my friend.
Many, many, many times, and they're the cutest.
Except we bought 127 tanks and went a little bit crazy, and we haven't gone back to normal since. It's a fun time. Nothing cuter than baby anything. Baby people, baby dogs, cats, fish, all of them are cute.
Baby betas.
Baby squirrels, baby birds.
Why you got to talk about the squirrel?
We don't need to get into all that. Our cat's new name is Jasper Dahmer because he's a squirrel killer.
We came home to 2 tails in the yard.
No bodies, just the tails. Rachel Shinlin. Yep, did it again, Rachel. Sorry. I'm just going to call you Rachel. Wanted to share my excitement for a pistogramma fry thriving in one of my community tanks. So much breeding happening. It's a glorious thing. It must be the time of year or something. These fish are getting excited and getting ready to go. Love it. Congratulations. We get a lot of questions about apistos, and I don't know anything about them, but maybe someday I will. I got to say this briefly. There was the most amazing goldfish dealer at Aquashella. 24 karat goldfish, I think they're called. Look them up. Awesome. And it really got me thinking of how much I love goldfish.
If you could talk about goldfish, can I show my plant of the day real quick? Make it quick.
Oh, we got like 30 of these.
I'm sorry,
in 5
James.
minutes.
I'm sorry, James. Okay, I'll be real quick. Okay, plant of the day. This is a propagation of a plant that Tanner from Serpa Design sent me last year at Christmas, and I'm propagating it. It's a variegated peace lily, and look at these glorious roots. Look, I'll show you. Oh my gosh.
The things this woman gets excited about.
Yeah, there you go.
She gets excited about small things.
But they're so glorious. The roots are beautiful, and it's see-through because I'm nosy.
You don't even know it, but every guy watching this stream right now just went, you don't even know why. You'll have to see the replay. You want to know why. Callan Shepard came back again and said, loving my Shark Pro 900. Of course you are, because it's an amazing piece of equipment. And if you haven't bought one yet, you should. Of course, Callan has, and he loves it. And you will too if you buy one. Yeah, shameless plug. Got more of them showing up tomorrow. We still have them in stock, but we're running real low. Got a lot of stuff coming in tomorrow. Melissa Jeswald said, saltwater people are like those wine experts, always turning their nose up at anyone who doesn't think like they do, in my opinion only. No, Melissa, that is certainly not your opinion only, because I know a lot of people that feel that way. I'm not going to start giving names, but almost every freshwater person I talk to says the same thing, which is why we are trying to build that bridge between them. Because
I like wine.
Every saltwater person I've met has been as delightful as can be to meet in person. But for some reason, we have this perception of them being snobby and turning their nose up at us. I don't think it's true. Maybe for some of them it is, but you know what? There's a lot of snobby freshwater people too.
The two that I met this weekend were really nice that I talked to.
I could say a name right now in the freshwater community of a guy that is a total snob and I don't even like being around. But I won't because I don't feel like starting a war. It's not a YouTuber. It's just somebody that I don't have particular taste for in the freshwater world. Because he said something rude to my wife. And you know what? Didn't he? Who cares? And he's a freshwater guy. And he is as snobby as they come. So they're on both sides. Fish Tank Bar, nice seeing you guys at Aquashella. Yes, it was, Mike. He's one of those people I was hanging out with Saturday night, and it was a lot of fun. And it was very cool. And always love those talks. It's so much fun. Doesn't matter who's with us. It's so much fun. Daryl Deemer came in and said, here's $10, and I'm not even going to say a word because John's already so backed up. Thank you so much for that, Daryl.
That's a guy I would love to see again. Daryl Deemer.
I'm pretty sure the last time I saw him was 2019 Aquashella Chicago.
Oh, last time I saw him was at the Aquatic Experience 2019.
Well, then I would have seen him there too then. So I stand corrected because Aquashella was before that. Furloughs Aquatics, get saltwater and get reptiles, and then you'll be like the crazy people from Florida. Yeah.
We have reptiles. They're all over our yard.
There were some magnificent reptiles.
Like
there
that
was a
big one?
Giant tegu that was amazing, and it made me want one.
It was black. It was like this big and
that
had a long
one
tail.
Was a black dragon, and it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. That's what it was. The first second I saw it, Will brought it over to me, and I was like, "Yes, I'd like one, please."
John,
it was amazing.
We don't have
I know.
Time to talk.
You
about
brought it up. You be quiet. Sean Damon, hi John and Lisa. I just got the CJ Voyager 2-stream pump for my 75-gallon cichlid tank. It's well built and strong magnetic. Love it so far. See if the fish do.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna buy a circulation pump, and if it doesn't have the word CJ on it, you made a bad choice. You did a good job there, my friend. Best in the business. And yes, I'm saying that because I'm biased. I'm fully ready to admit it. Garden of Whedon and Chris Ressiker, I hope I'm saying your name right, and JCure93 all became members.
Oh, welcome
to the team. So excited to have you. Chattanooga Ed, great looking t-shirt, John. Yeah, Ed, you're probably not here because you're starting your stream in 1 minute.
Sorry.
Ed is so much fun to hang out with. I adore that guy.
That's who I hung out with during the raffle, and we had so much fun. Like, I was even getting his numbers before he knew his numbers run. I was like, Ed, your number. And he's like, it is.
He's so funny because he did the commentary for the cornhole, and he kept saying, John from KG Tropics and keep fishing to keep on.com. Like he couldn't get it right. And it was so funny.
I know. I nicknamed him Chattanooga E. Since he
Chattanooga De.
Chattanooga E.
MadTube58, my 55-gallon tank just finished cycling today, but I need a lid, thinking I need a custom. Where can I get a good quality glass lid? You guys are the best. Yeah, we sure are the best, aren't we? I hope you're still here, MadTube.
What size tank?
A 55-gallon, and
Probably
you really,
Petco, right?
well, yeah, you shouldn't need a custom unless it's some obscure size. If it is obscure and you need custom, go to Lowe's or Home Depot. I've only found them at Home Depot actually, and get the polycarbonate panels. They look really good. They're very cheap, and you can cut it yourself with a hacksaw, or if you have a circular saw, because they're easy.
But
unless
why waste
you can
your
find
time?
them.
Go to Petco or PetSmart and just buy one. It has a little handle. And
He
it
said,
opens
I
and
think I
closes.
need a custom one. So he probably can't find them at Petco. Jeez, does she read?
There's online ordering.
If you can't find them,
saying.
I'll say it again. The same thing I said before. If you can't find them,
Oh, whatever.
then go with the polycarbonate because it works really well. Whips World, you got at least one more gift you're forgetting. Perhaps the best gift of all, the gift you talked about here tonight. I feel disrespected. No, don't, because you are the man. You know you're the man. He brought me again pizza from Pequod's, and it was glorious.
Best pizza ever.
Halfway through the day on Saturday, I started feeling bad. Like I guess it was just overly tired or whatever. I don't know what it was. And he was like, I'm going to go get pizza. Do you want some? And I'm like, that's the dumbest question anybody's ever asked me. So he goes, but it's Chicago and deep dish takes forever to cook. It took like 2 hours before he got back. And I was just like, eating that pizza. And then I felt better.
So good. And he got me cheese pizza. I think Crystal and I ended up splitting that. And there was one piece left. And I was like, I'll take it back to the room. So I take it back to the room. It's a little late. And I try to shove this box in the refrigerator and it wouldn't fit. So you want to know what I was doing at like 12 o'clock that night? I was eating pizza because it was not going to waste.
Yep. You can't waste deep dish. Not a drop of mine went to waste either. But
stuffed. But I didn't gain any weight this weekend, so it's okay.
you take 20,000 steps a day. That's what happens. Jesus Barrara with a $10 thank you kitty cat super sticker. Thank you so much for that. I really hope everybody that gave these is still here and getting to hear your name mentioned. Leo 209 Aquatics 900. Good grief. 981,000. 0822. Got one number too many in there, but you know what? When the numbers are that huge, you just lose track,
Might
right?
as well say a million.
That many people watching. I came for the show and stayed for the bobbleheads. P.S. How's Carl doing? He is as rotten as ever.
Rotten.
But he's adorable. We love Carl. He's so special. We were filming videos today and he just slept on the table the whole time. He was a good boy.
Yeah.
Texas Fish Room said, good evening, y'all. Good evening, Jeff. We missed you in Chicago. I know you're a Texas guy. We'll see you in Texas next year. Jesus Barrara, again, quick question. How do you treat a small tumor on a weather loach since he has no scales? I'm going to give that one to you because
I'm not good with tumors, and I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. I've not had very good success with tumors at all. I know that they can be caused by a viral infection, or they could be actually like a tumor because it's cancerous. So, I mean, I would just do my best with them and quarantine them and up the heat a little bit, depending on what you already have it at, like maybe 80. And I would use salt, but let me think about that. Can loaches have salt? I'm not even that familiar with loaches. Don't do
not
salt.
the scaleless ones, I don't think.
No, never mind. Please scratch that part out.
This is why it's so tricky, because it's a scaleless fish.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would do something like I would treat it for viral isn't an infection. Like, gosh, that's a tough one for me because I'm not really sure what to say about tumors because I'm not good with them. I haven't had success with tumors.
Yeah. If I could refund you your money, I would.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
I mean, I would, if it was me, I would use an antibiotic, and I could be wrong there.
Check the labels of whatever medications you look at and make sure that it says, because usually it'll say on there, not safe for scaleless fish or something like that.
I don't think I've ever had a loach on it.
Dan Quinnell became a member. Welcome to the team, Dan. Regina Phalanges. Hi, John. Do you have a bobblehead bucket list? Your collection is impressive. Asking for a friend. Harry Potter. I don't have any Harry Potter bobbleheads at all. I've got Breaking Bad. I've got all of the Washington Nationals. So it's Harry Potter for sure. I've got a 12-inch Severus Snape, but he's not a bobblehead. So that's probably, and literally any character but preferably Severus first, because he's my favorite. But yeah, Harry Potter, it's probably where I'm going to go next. Joe Provenzano, Prime Football sucks. Thank God KG is live. I don't watch football anymore because it's just terrible. Whips World, and everything I can't remember as it seemed. The consequences are rendered. I've stretched myself beyond my means. I know that one. I can't think about it though, Whip, because we're 6 minutes over time here. I'm sorry. I'm going to text you and I'm going to let you know what that is. Fistachio, hey John, if I wanted to get you a bobblehead, where would I send it to? Good grief. If you look in the description of this here video, our P.O. box is down there. If it's not on there, which it should be, it should say, do you want to send us something? That's it. It's P.O. Box 742, Edenton, North Carolina, 27932. But that's where you can do it. It's also in the About Us page, and it's on our website and all that kind of stuff. That's how you would do it. We're just the luckiest people ever. Brandon, you became a new member. Welcome to the team. Jeff H. again didn't poop on us this time, but he did say, and Ellen said, thank you so much for saying we are your age. She has a birthday coming in a couple of weeks and retired. Woohoo! Nice.
Whoa, lucky.
Well, listen, I thought you all were close to our age. So,
right.
Anyway, Whips World, speaking of old people, Lisa, Crystal's new beta is looking fantastic.
Yay! I'm so happy she got a beta. Like, we're getting her in the hobby, even though her first fish technically was a little baby flower horn that he got her. But
that's okay.
That's okay.
And then he said, blame me since I'm a doddering old man. See, I just said it. I mean, I already said that. So, you didn't need to bring it up again. We don't need to beat a dead horse, especially an old dead horse. Then Lisa, thank you so much for gifting me the stand. That's one of the things that she gave him from the raffle.
Thank you for carrying it out.
Yeah, he had the pleasure of carrying that giant thing through the whole place. Marley became a member. Welcome to the team.
Welcome,
along
Marley.
with Jamie Yee, also became a member. This has been a crazy member night. And then Melissa from Canada said, love all the videos and content. Thank you, guys. You are the best. You are very welcome. Thank you so much for that. Folks, we've gone way beyond our time, and it's to the point where it's getting rude. For Fishroom Fever and Chattanooga Ed. We love those guys. 2 board members of the Tennessee Fish Mafia. So listen, if you want to go over there and hang out with them, you don't have to do a thing. Just stay right where you're at. Don't touch a thing. As soon as I click end stream, it's going to take you right over to them. You don't have to do anything. Go over there and tell them we said, hey.
Hashtag KG says sorry.
That's it. That's the one. Yes. So quickly say goodbye.
Thanks for joining us tonight. It was a whole lot of fun, and sorry we went over James and Ed. But anyways, again, thanks so much. Thanks, mods. You guys are the best. And also thanks for all the lurkers and everybody in chat and all the super chats and gifting members and memberships. And thank you for becoming members. And I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye.